Right, let's start lying down. So it'll be nice and hopefully nice and pleasant on the back today. So if you could come to lying down, Blue, go on your bed. On your bed. Come on, bed. Lie down, down. Lie down. Good boy, stay. Right, so if you just come down to lying down on your backs. Hopefully your space today is warm. And then bring the knees in towards the chest. Hug those knees in towards the chest. And just begin a little bit of a gentle moving in the lower back. So knees in towards the chest, knees away from the chest. And that's all. So a little bit of in and away. And in and away. So you really are literally just on your lower back. Alternate between bringing the knees in towards the chest and then the knees wide. So what I meant to say was knees in towards the chest together, knees in towards the chest wide. So you alternate. Each time you move the knees away, you go right down onto your tailbone. Just a few more like that. So one more together, one more wide, and then bring the knees together and just gently press the knees, the shins down. So you're flattening. So I always think it's like a ruler, one of those folding rulers. You just fold it. And then let the feet go down to the floor, please. Settling the feet on the floor. Step the feet in so they're now hip distance apart, hands onto the abdomen. So what I'd like you to do is practice conscious core first. So working with the breath, taking an inhale, breathing into the abdomen. And then as you exhale, allow the tummy to fall, but also introduce a core squeeze. And then inhaling again. And then as you exhale, you let the tummy drop down and you squeeze the tummy, maybe even lifting the pelvic floor up. So again, keep going with that. So you're inhaling and then exhaling, flattening the back, squeezing. And again, inhaling. Maybe introducing a little bit of movement into the back a bit more. Exhale, flatten the back, squeeze, draw the tummy in. Again, inhale, slight arch in the back, not massive. And then exhale, flatten the back, squeezing your tummy. One more time, inhale, but now arching the back a bit more. And then exhale, flatten the back, squeeze. Now hold there, stay in this core engaged position, holding there. So it's exaggerated. Just holding, but introducing a breathing into the ribs now. So you'll keep the tummy really engaged. Keep the hands where they are so you can sense that engagement into your core. And then relax all that effort. Just go into an arch back position and then into a neutral position. Now what I'd like you to do is to take your knees up above your hips now. So you've got like a 90-degree angle in your hip and in your knees. Explore if you can flatten your back here. So just try it without too much thought. Just see if you can flatten the back. If you can't quite flatten the back, bring the knees forward. A couple of millimeters will do it. And then you try again and you see, can you flatten the back? So that's the setup. Now what I'd like you to do is you're going to take an inhale. The hands are just still on the tummy to help guide you. Inhaling, and then as you exhale, you flatten the back and you do a conscious core engagement and you drop your right heel to the floor. And you bring your right heel up and then you relax for a moment, inhaling. Exhaling, flatten the back, lower your left heel to the floor, coming back up again. And then you relax for a moment. Inhale, exhale, flatten the back, squeezing the tummy as you pressing the back down to the floor as you lower your right heel, bring it back up. Inhaling, and then as you exhale, you flatten the back, conscious core engagement as you lower your left heel and then bring it back up. Try it again. Inhale, as you exhale, flatten the back, lowering your right heel and then lift it up again. Inhale, as you exhale, press the back down to the floor, lower the left heel down to the floor and then bring it back up. And then allow the knees to come into the chest. So it's just a practice of conscious core engagement. Just rocking from side to side. And then again, we're going to go still into the core. Come back into the middle. Take the hands now onto the front of your thighs and lift your shins. Inhaling, and then as you exhale, press your lower back down to the floor. Press the hands into the knees and the knees into the hands. Holding there for 5. Lightening your shoulders. 4. Lightening your hips. 3. And 2. And 1. Relax the knees into the chest and please rock from side to side. Come back into the middle. Set the knees up above the hips one more time. Lift the shins, hands on the thighs. Take an inhale. As you exhale, press the lower back down to the floor. Press the hands into the knees and the knees into the hands. Holding there for 5 and 4. So really press the back down to the floor, drawing the tummy in. 3 and 2 and 1. And then bring the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. And then just leave the knees where they are, but let the arms go out to the side. Lift the shins up a fraction, so you're not trying to be at that 90-degree angle anymore. It's a little bit softer than that to do the recline twisting. It is like quite early in the morning, so we're just trying to just go easy on it. So after an inhale, as you exhale, drop the knees about halfway over to the left. And then bring the knees up and take the knees halfway over to the right. Coming up, so we're only going to do it 3 times, up and over. So I want you to really notice that going across the back of the pelvis, knees to the left, coming up, and then knees to the right. That's it. And then coming up one more time. Take the knees over to the left. Come up, and then the knees over to the right. And then come up. And then bring the knees in towards the chest. Rocking like the knees in and out rather than from side to side. And then let the feet go to the floor. Let the feet go really wide, so they're right on the outside edges of the mat, and then your arms are relaxed alongside the body but slightly away. Drop the knees over to the left and just notice that release. You want to keep really flat with the knees, as flat as you can go, and then pick the knees up and take the knees over to the right. And then come back up to the middle. Now quite slowly, we're going to do something called wash rag, which is where you start to move the arms as well. So as you take the knees over to the left, you're going to roll your arms along the floor towards the left. So what will happen, if you move really slowly, what will happen is your left arm will roll upwards, opening the shoulder. The right arm will roll downwards, closing the right shoulder. So once you've got that, it's easier to go to the other side because you know the direction. So you've got your right arm is rolled forward and the left arm is rolled back or upwards. Open, so open left, close right shoulder. And then you do exactly the opposite. So you come back to the neutral and then you take the knees to the right and you're rolling your right arm up and rolling the left arm down. So you should find that the left shoulder is picked up off the floor. So everything is rolling in the direction of right. And then try that again. So coming up, rolling the arms at the same time as you move the legs over to the left. So wash rag. You're wringing everything out. And then up and knee, everything over to the right. Arms rolling, knees going down. Settling that pattern down there. One more time, coming up. Slowly, mindfully dropping the knees to the left as you roll the arms to the left as well. So you should have the left shoulder open, the right shoulder rolled slightly forward. Coming back up to the middle and then over towards the right, rolling the arms that way as well. And then let's come back into the middle and walk the feet back to being hip distance apart. Bring your right knee in towards the chest, take the left leg long. Slide the hands down to the shin, to the ankle. Inhaling and then lift the head and the shoulders up, bringing the nose towards the knee. So you're moving your upper back and then lower yourself down. Again, take an inhale. As you exhale, lift up, knee to the nose and lower down. Again, one more time, take an inhale. As you exhale, lifting up, knee to the nose and then lower yourself. Slow, nice and slowly down. Grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand. The right arm is out to the side. Recline twist. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw your right knee across to the left, keeping the shoulders grounded and holding there. So a nice recline twist. And then come back into the middle. Hug that knee in towards the chest before you release the foot to the floor. And then bring your left knee in towards the chest, sliding the hand down the shin, sliding long your right leg. Sorry, Blue. Sliding long the right leg. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift the head and the shoulders up, bringing the nose towards the knee, and then lower yourself down. Again, take an inhale. As you exhale, lift the head and the shoulders up, bringing the nose towards the knee. And then again, you lower yourself down. One more time, take an inhale. As you exhale, lift the head and the shoulders up, nose to the knee, and then lower yourself down. Relaxing down, take hold of your left knee with the right hand. Left arms out to the side, take an inhale, and then as you exhale, recline twist. Just drawing that left knee across to the right and holding there, breathing. Just breathing into it, recline twist. And then come back into the middle, hug the knee in towards the chest. And then bring the other knee in towards the chest. So now both knees are in towards the chest. You can rock from side to side. And then you can either rock forward and back, or you can go onto your side and come up to seated there. Doesn't matter, either or. So come up, that's it. Onto your hands and knees, please. That's it. So if you just settle the hands and the knees. Cat pose. So nice and simple. But what I want you to do is to press into your hands and then consciously engage your core again. So you're lifting your lower back. So rather than just sort of hanging there, you're just going to tuck the tailbone, engage into the core. Feel the ribs lifting up away from the floor as well. Inhaling there, take the chest forward, and then as you exhale, tuck the toes and round the back. Allow the chin to come to the chest, looking towards your knees or your thighs. And then inhaling, taking the chest forward. Again, as you exhale, tuck the toes round the back, chin to the chest. Look towards your knees or your thighs. And then inhaling forward again. One more time. Tuck the toes and then round the back, chin to the chest. Come back into a neutral position, still with the core consciously engaged. Narrow the knees and then slide long your right leg, lifting it up, taking the left arm forward. So coming into cat balance and holding, but try and be as still as you can. And then take the left arm out to the side and the right leg slightly out to the side. Bring the leg back and the arm forward and take your hands to the floor. What I'd like to do is to tuck or flex your right foot and then take the toes to the floor, so they're tucked, too many T's, they're tucked, and then press back just to stretch your right calf for a moment. And then what I'd like you to do is come back into a neutral position. You're going to move your right foot forward and back, not lifting it up though. So just let the right toes slide out to the side, and then they're going to come as far forward as feels comfortable for you. So they're coming towards your right foot's coming towards your right hand. And then take the leg back and go all the way across and behind. So then you can look over your left shoulder and see your right toes. And then do it again. So you're taking the right leg out to the side and forward, and then out to the side, crossing it behind the other leg. Look at those toes and stretch that right side of your body. One more time. Take the leg out to the side and forward, and then out to the side and back until it crosses behind your left leg and you're looking over your left shoulder to your right foot. Now take the leg out to the side and forward, and then step your foot, creep your foot onto the mat, and then bring your hips forward. So you bring your hips forward, so now you're in a low lunge, but with your right foot wide of your hands. Taking the chest forward, pushing down into your hands. Do a small roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, so your right knee goes wide, and then squeeze the knee in towards the shoulder. So again, roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, and then squeeze the knee into the shoulder. That's it. Again, outside edge of the foot, squeeze the knee in towards the shoulder, holding there. And then tuck your left toes, the back foot, tuck those left toes, lift up the knees. It's quite nice just to take some pressure off the knee for a moment anyway. And then what I'd like you to do is to rock forward and back. So you're just moving your shoulders forward and back by moving your left foot. Keep lifting up that left thigh. So it's on the left calf and it's on the left thigh. That left leg is working much more strongly than the right one. And then come into a neutral position, lower your left knee, and then shift your hips back. So you've got an option to tuck your left toes if you want to, but you don't have to. And then just pull yourself back, stretching, really stretching into that right leg. And then come forward again. Walk the foot in between the hands now, so it's just slightly more centered. Taking the chest forward, lift the arms up away from the floor, and then please just take the arms forward and up. Now, if that feels anything in your lower back, any strain in your lower back, move your hips back so you come more upright, and what happens is you take more stretch into the thigh, less pressure into the back. So just see, it's finding that happy point of going forward. So just explore it now. So you go forward, taking the hips forward, and then you move back, and just see where your point is that feels more comfortable. And then holding there, lift the chest up slightly and breathe. And then what I'd like you to do is to deliberately move your hips back into this sort of the back friendly position, but twist towards the right, taking the arms to parallel, and hold there. So you've got the tailbone tucking, you've got the core is engaged, the arms are working, you've got rotation happening in the spine without any levering from the arms. Take the arms up into the air, the arms go forward, hands go to the floor, and then move yourself back so that you can release the foot and you're back in cat pose. Push down into the hands, draw the chest forward, tuck the toes around the back, chin to the chest. Again, inhaling, drawing the chest forward, and then exhale, tuck the toes around the back, chin to the chest. One more time, inhaling forward, and then exhale, tuck the toes around the back, chin to the chest. So then, you're back in a neutral position. Lift up your left leg and your right arm, cat balance. So just make sure it is the opposite side to the one you've just done. And then your right arm can go out to the side and the left leg goes slightly out to the side. Let the arm go forward, the leg go back. Take the hands down to the floor. Now flex your left foot, lower the toes to the floor, so the toes are tucked, and then press your shoulders back. A little extra stretch into the calf, breathing there. And then come back into a neutral position. You don't have to lift the foot up, you're going to take your left leg out to the side and as far forward as it will go, so the leg doesn't arc towards your left hand. And then take the leg out to the side, cross it behind, and then look over your right shoulder. See if you can see your left foot there. Take the leg out to the side and forward, and then out to the side and cross it behind. Again, take the leg out to the side and forward, out to the side and cross it behind. Look towards the toes, looking over your right shoulder. And then take the leg out to the side and forward, but this time just step it onto your mat. And then bring your hips forward. Just staying there for a moment, so the hands are props, the arms are quite straight. And then roll onto the outside edge of your left foot. So the knee's gone away, and then squeeze it in. And then again, just let the roll onto the outside edge of the foot, and then squeeze in. And then again, outside edge of the foot, and squeeze in. Holding there. And then move your hips back, coming into half splits. If you want to flex your left foot, you can flex your left foot. Just feel that length coming into that left leg for a moment. And then we're going to walk the foot into the inside between the hands and come forward again into a low lunge. Once you're in the low lunge, lift the arms up. Take the arms up. Now you're going to explore finding your position for your low lunge. So not much effort going on, you're looking forward. So you move your hips back and then you move your hips forward. And you move your hips back and you move your hips forward. Move your hips back and then move your hips forward. So once you're there, once you've found your position, lift the chest up. Holding there. So low lunge and then twist. Just have a go at finding that twist position, that's it. And then come back to face the front. Just take the hands to the floor. I did miss out one bit, so what I'd like you to do is just to tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and then just rock forward and back. So you've still got that thigh moving. And then that allows us to step back into downward facing dog. So there's always a win there. So if you connect your hands to the floor and then slide your left leg back and come straight away into downward facing dog there. So hands connected to the floor, just alternately bending the knees, or remaining still if you feel that you are prepared for downward facing dog and happy just to be still. So you're either moving, still stretching out the body, or you're being quite still. If you're still, lengthen the lower back, draw the tummy in. Start to walk the feet just a little bit further away from you so that you can come forward into plank. And what I'd like to do, you're going to lower down to the floor. You can do it with your knees bent on the floor, or you can lower yourself down straight away, all the way down. Once you're there, take the hands forward and just rest the forehead in your hands, wriggling the hips away. So you're just trying to make the body as long as you can, and then just resting there for a moment. I'm going to go on the diagonal first, so it's just like cat balance, but you are on your tummy. So let your left arm go forward, lift up the head and the chest, and then your right leg and your left arm. And just staying there for a moment. Taking a few breaths. And then lower down, swapping the arms over. So right arm is now forward. And then you lift up again. So you're lifting up the head, the chest, and then your left leg and your right arm. Lift and lengthen. And then again, lower down. Swap the arms around. So now we can do an articulation in the arm as well, which is optional. So you've got your left arm forward, lift up the head and the chest, right leg, left arm. And then if you want to, you can stay there, or you take the left arm out to the side, you roll the shoulder forward, bend the elbow, and then try and tap your right shoulder blade with the fingers. And then you release the arm out to the side, take the arm forward and relax down, but let the right arm be forward and ready to go. And then go again, so you're lifting up the head and the chest, left leg, right arm, just holding steady there. Either stay still or take the right arm out to the side, rolling the shoulder forward so you can bend the elbow, try and tap towards the opposite shoulder blade, and then you release the arm, take the arm forward and relax down. Left arm is forward. One more time on each. So you're lifting up the head and the chest, right leg and the left arm. Take the arm out to the side, rolling the shoulder forward, coming up the back as far as feels comfortable, tapping towards that opposite shoulder blade. Let the arm go forward and relax down. Right arm is now forward. Last time, lifting up the head and the chest, left leg and the right arm. Take the arm out to the side, roll the shoulder forward, bending the elbow, try and tap its opposite shoulder blade, take the arm out to the side, let the arm go forward and then relax down completely. Maybe you bend your knees and you move your feet from side to side. Just see how that feels, that's it. So just see whatever feels good in your back. And then settle the feet down. Let the hands now go underneath your shoulders. And then start to lift up the head and the chest. Watch your lower back. So if you need to, you lower down. And if you need to, you consciously engage the core and lengthen your lower back. So what I'd like to do is to really sort of push up into something that feels quite challenging on your back. And then you rest down, just releasing the hips, and then go again. So you're lifting up the head and the chest, holding there. And then lower yourself down, moving the hips from side to side. And then you go again. So lifting up the head and the chest, drawing the shoulders down. Now, if it feels okay to do so, you can then lift up the legs as well. So the arms they're there, but they're not doing anything. They're not pushing you up. So you're using the whole of your back line to lift the body up away from the floor. The back is engaged. Should be everywhere engaged, holding. And then lower yourself down and move your hips from side to side. So it's engaging everywhere. We're going to do the same thing again. So you start off, it's just like coming into a low cobra. So once you've got your low cobra, you can either stay in low cobra or you lift up the legs as well. And you're holding there. This time you can lift the hands off the floor as well, and then interlace the hands behind your back, bound locust. Holding there. And just notice how comfortable you're feeling. If this is hard, or you think, oh, I could stay here for a bit, just notice. Releasing the arms, back underneath the shoulders, and then rest your back down on the floor again. You can move your hips or you can be completely still. It's fine either way. And then what I'd like to do is slightly more restful. Come into Sphinx pose. So come onto your forearms. And then just kind of sort of quite casual in Sphinx pose. A bit more relaxed. Pushing down into the forearms, lifting the tummy, drawing the chest forward, length into the lower back. Neutral in the neck, so you're not sort of jutting your chin forward, it's nice and neutral. And then just take some breath there, trying to think wide in the shoulders. So trying to move your shoulders, expand across the upper back, expand across the front of the chest. And then relax out of that. Just relax, let the elbows go wide, drop the head down. So we're going to do that once more, Sphinx pose once more before we move on. So it's a nice way to hang out. It's really good for the back, Sphinx pose. So you just stay, find the Sphinx pose, elbows underneath the shoulders. Control the lower back, so you can really tuck the tailbone if you need to. Engaging into the core, lightening the tummy away from the floor. Broad in the shoulders. Watch, you've got time here to really be aware of your positioning. So think about the neck, not sticking the chin forward. The back of the neck is open. Wide across the shoulders, wide across the front of the chest. Space into your lower back. And then you release down again, taking the hands again underneath your shoulders. So then you can push back into child pose. So you lift up the head and the chest, and then take yourself back to child pose, either with the toes tucked or not, it doesn't matter. Just stretch the back for a moment. From there, you're going to come into a standing forward fold. So walk the hands in and then come into a standing forward fold. Feet hip distance apart. Walk the hands in. Just stretch your back for a moment. You can walk the hands around to the left. Take a little twist there. Walk the hands around to the right. Take a little twist there. Come back into the middle, and then start to push down into the feet to rise up to standing. So really slow. Once you're up, just roll your shoulders. That's it. Good. Just rolling the shoulders, and then stand in mountain pose for a moment. So just stand with your eyes closed, finding that balance. So a brief practice of balancing with the eyes closed before we move on. So what I'd like to do is you can stand with your feet on the floor and your eyes closed. You can, that might be enough, or start to walk on the feet. So walk on the spot, transferring the weight from the left leg to the right leg. And then maybe introducing a heel raise when you feel ready. Heel raise and a pause. And if you're feeling quite stable with the heel raise and the pause, then just very lightly float the toes, the ball of the foot away from the floor. You're hardly moving at all as you float the foot off the floor, trying to find your balance. So the more you move to lift the foot, the bigger disturbance there will be in your balance. So you're just trying to do it without, it's hardly perceptible, the lifting of your foot off the floor. So try for a couple of decently, 4-second plus holds. If you find this really easy, you'll just be still holding. Make sure you do both legs. So if you haven't already, transfer to the second leg. Just notice how this makes you feel. And you remain really calm and focused on the balance. And then take both feet to the floor and just open up your eyes now. So we've got balance now. That's the balance honed. So what I'd like you to do is we're going to do a little bit of work on the hips. So take the hands onto the hips, engage into the core, length into the lower back as you bring your right knee up. So you're flexing at the hip. So bring the right knee up. And then what I'd like you to do is you're going to turn, externally rotate the right hip. So you turn the knee out and lift the foot up. And then you're going to do the opposite. So you're going to have, so if you're in your peripheral vision, your knee should be now internal rotation in the hip. The knee is in, the foot is out. Continue to move that leg back now, that's the hard bit. Grab hold of the foot and just press the foot back. So it's sort of almost dancer, but not quite dancer. So from the side, it's not really into the back, it's more moving the hip, extending the leg. And then bring the leg through the center to repeat that. So you're still on the right leg, you've got your hip flexed. Then you're going to do external rotation in the right hip. So you've got the knee out and the foot in. If you look down, the knee is wide, the foot is in. Change that so the knee is in and the foot is out. And then move the leg backwards, catch hold of the foot, and then press the foot back. So almost dancer. One more time. Bring the knee in towards the chest. Do external rotation in the leg, in the hip. Knee is out, the foot is in. Then your knee is in and the foot is out, internal rotation. Move the foot back and the knee back, extension in the hip. And then relax that foot down. So you do the same thing again on the other side, but just stand for a moment and notice how your right leg feels. So then we're going to do the same thing again on the other side. So you're lifting up the left knee and then go for external rotation, knee wide, foot in. Internal rotation, knee in, foot out. Start to move that leg backwards to preparation for dancer. Extending the hip. Release the foot, bring the knee in towards the chest. Externally rotate the hip, knee out, foot in. Internally rotate the hip, knee in, foot out. Start to shift the knee backwards to extend the hip, catch hold of the foot. Preparation for dancer. One more time. Bring the knee in towards the chest, extending. External rotation in the hip, knee out, foot in. Internal rotation in the hip, knee in, foot out. Move the knee backwards, catch hold of the foot, extend your hip. And then relax that leg down, just walk around for a moment. Just shaking out the hips. So then, back to extension. No, not extension, sorry, flexion. You're going to flex your right hip. So lift up the knee. This time you take your arms up. And then what I'd like you to do is to twist. So you're going to turn towards the right, taking the arms parallel. Take the arms forward and then relax that leg down. Try the other side, so just seeing how it goes. So you're lifting up the left knee, pick it up. That's it. So the knee is lifted, keep the knee lifted as you twist towards the left. Take the arm forward and up and drop the leg down. Just see how that feels. Walking around the feet. Then pick up your right knee again and externally rotate it. Once you've done the external rotation, let the foot rest on the thigh and then try and sit down into standing figure of 4. So you're just sitting down, going with whatever you can do on your right hip. Staying there. Coming up to standing, cross the right leg in front of the left, lifting your arms up, and then side bend to the left. So just leaning into the hips. Come back up. Now you don't have to go very far. What I'd like you to do is to start to bend the knees. It could be very small. So you bend the knees as if you're going to sit down and you're balancing on the outside edges of the feet. So some of you have done this with me this week. So you really don't have to go very far. So you're just sitting down. If you can go down, then obviously you're going to go down and you're going to go almost to the floor. But it could be more like a chair pose position. And then come back up and uncross the legs. Same thing again on the other side. So lifting up your left knee, externally rotate your left leg, and then rest your left foot on your right thigh as you sit down into standing figure of 4. So just holding steady there. And then coming up, cross the legs, take the arms up, catch hold of your right wrist, lift and lengthen, and then side bend, standing side bend. Coming back up. Again, not a big movement. You might just stand, or you're going to bend the knees and just have a go at going down. Go down only as far as feels comfortable for you. So as low as you can go, comfortably and safely, and then come back up again and uncross the legs. And again, just walking around on the feet for a moment, standing and breathing. So then we're going to do dancer. So then, if you step onto your left foot and then catch hold of your right foot with your right hand. You might just stay there, or you let your left arm go forward and then you press the right foot away, drawing the chest forward. Just opening up, so maybe catching hold of the inside edge of your right foot so you can lift the right foot up a little bit higher. Breathing into it. And then release the knee just briefly in towards the chest and then take the foot to the floor. That's it. And again, just walk around for a moment. So you have to sort of release out the feet. You have to have a moment of resting. So then we're going to go for the other side. And what I want you to do is you sort of kind of step forward into dancer. So step your right foot forward, really ground that right foot and then catch hold of your left foot. Staying there, lifting up, or take your right arm forward and begin to press your left foot away, drawing the chest forward. And then maybe catching hold of the inside edge of your left foot as you go into dancer. So lifting the foot up that little bit higher. And then releasing out of that stepping both feet down to the floor. Let your shoulders relax, let your head relax, and then fold forward. So just folding forward, stretching out the legs, stretching out your back, and then come back up again. Just standing up nice and tall. Do it again, ragdoll forward bend. So just let the arms hang, pulling the tummy up away as you fold. And then pressing down into the feet to rise up again. And then come to standing, please. Just standing and breathing. Now, what I'd like to do is I'm just going to show you there's ways of different ways of going down to the floor. What I'd like you to try and do, if you don't have great knees, which I know that at least one of you today doesn't have great knees, so I just want you to take that forward bend that you just did, drop down onto the knees, and then come through to sitting, ready to do a seated forward fold. If you're okay with your knees, but you're not sure about doing this, that's why I wanted to show you there's a different way. You can just cross the legs and you go down and down and down, and without using your hands you sit down. However, what you can do is instead you go down and down and down, and then you have your hands on the floor. If I turn, I'm just going to turn. You've got your hands on the floor, and then what you do is you take a hand back and then the other hand back. So you use your hands to lower yourself down to the floor, just to get that bridge between the almost on the floor, and then that you might find that it's just that little bit too much to get yourself down on the floor. So I don't want you to, just if you've got dodgy knees, don't do it. But you're just going to try it. Well done. So have a go now. I'm watching. Have a go. That's it. It's just going to say, just try and sit down with your knees bent. Nice. Yeah. It's not that. It's sometimes just like a little bit of a leap of faith. Well done. That was really good. Well done. So, heels on the floor. Lean your chest forward. Take hold of your feet. Inhale. And then as you exhale, slide your heels forward and just take a nice forward bend there. Just breathing into the back of the ribs. And then coming up, grab hold of or bend your right knee, and then take your right knee out to the side. And then just orientate yourself over or in front of your left leg. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable, you don't have to have the right knee out to the side. You can have the right leg out to the side straight. As you fold forward down over your left leg, just have an awareness of how tight it feels, how much movement there is. If it feels that it's your left leg that's restricting you, please bend your left leg, and then you can bind your arm. So you can take your right arm underneath that left knee, and then you slide your heel forward. Trying to stretch out the right side of the back. So if it's the right knee that's feeling it, straighten the leg. Straighten that right leg out to the side. So head to knee pose, Janya Sirsasana, head to knee pose. Just breathing there. So whatever feels good for you. If you can get your head and your chest quite close to the left thigh, you can always take your right hand across the front of the foot. And then start to come up, bending your left leg. Catch hold of your left foot, the inside if you can, the big toe of your left foot, and lift up that foot. So you're looking forward. So you can grab hold, grab hold of with both hands, sorry. We're going to do both. So grab hold of the left foot with both hands, and then press that foot forward, lifting the chest. And then if you just keep hold of the foot with your right hand, so left foot, right hand, and then turn, and then you can do that twist that we've been doing. That's it. So you're twisting other way, Jilly. Other way. That's it. Twisting towards the leg, towards the left. That's it. Good. Well done. And then just place that foot on the floor. It's going to be with the knee bent, so the foot is just in front of your right ankle. The left foot is in front of the right ankle. And then twist towards the left and look over your left shoulder. Just slightly easier twist, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's nice to do a slightly easier twist. And then come back into the middle. Release the legs forward, just shake out the legs for a moment, moving the feet or toes from side to side. And then we're going to do the same thing again on the other side. So you bend your left leg and take the left leg out to the side. Lift and lengthen. Now take a decision, how comfortable is your left knee? If it's comfortable, you can leave it there. You might need to prop it. You might opt to have the left leg just straight out to the side. And then orientate your body, your chest down over the right leg. Start to fold forward. If you feel resistance in the right leg, bend the right knee and bind the left arm underneath the knee. So then you can hold your chest closer towards the right thigh. If you can, I'd like you to take your left hand across the front of the right foot and fold forward there. Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. Just breathing into it. Find that length in the left side of the back. And then let's come up. You're going to bend your right leg, resting on the heel. Catch hold of your right foot with your left hand, and then pick the foot up and press the foot forward. And just find your balance. So heron pose. Lifting up, lengthen to the spine, really engaging into your upper back. And then keep hold of your foot, your right foot with the left hand. Start to turn your chest towards the right. And then you can either have your right hand on the floor or your right hand up, parallel, as you hold. And then bend the knee, taking the foot to the floor. So the foot's going to go just in front of the ankle. That's it. It doesn't matter that it might not be as deep as you normally go. Just enjoy the freedom of the twist as you twist towards the right. And then come back into the middle. Again, release the legs forward. And just move the toes, move the legs from side to side. And then slightly bend the knees to take the feet together, knees wide. And forward fold to release your back. Nice and slow. So moving the head towards your feet. And then using the breath just to release those two sides of your back. And then coming up, bring the knees together, and then just scoot your hips forward. Now, if you have got wall space, I know that some of you haven't got wall space near you, but you could do it with a sofa. You could do rolling bridge with your legs elevated. So just to remind you, you go a little bit closer in towards the wall and you rest your feet on the wall. And then from there, you can roll up into bridge and then you roll back down again. It's really nice if you've got the space. If you haven't got the space, then you just do, you can just do rolling bridge with your feet on the floor. Okay? So as long as you can hear, you don't need to be able to see. So either with the feet on the floor or with the feet elevated, arch your back and then start to roll up. So lifting up onto the shoulders, and then use your arms to support the body as you slowly roll the back down to the floor. Arching your back and then go again. So it's a lot stronger with your legs elevated. It's an awful lot stronger. 3 times. So a minimum of 3 times. Let's rephrase that. So then, once you've done that 3 times, if you're really getting a lot from that pose, from that movement, then continue doing that. If you'd like to come up into a half shoulder stand, you can do that, or you might just shuffle a bit closer in towards the wall, or with the knees bent, astronaut pose, knees bent, feet resting on the wall, or legs up into the air, legs resting on the wall. So more restorative. However, if you'd like to be half shoulder stand, then you can do half shoulder stand instead. And just again reminding you, half shoulder stand, it's not full shoulder stand. You have a bend at your waist and your equal weight between your shoulders and your elbows. So finding a position that works for you. So it could be Viparita Karani, which is where your feet are up the wall or in the middle of the room, but your back is flat on the floor. It could be knees bent, but still elevated, so a restorative inversion, or it could be half shoulder stand. Lovely. That's it, just lift and lengthen. So think about lifting your hips up, lightening your hips up if you are in half shoulder stand. Just lift and lengthen. That's it. Good. So what you're trying to do for those in half shoulder stand, you're trying to lift the weight of the legs and the weight of the pelvis away from your rib cage. So you're using your core, front, side and back in reverse. So you're using it to lift up away from the floor. So try and think lightness around the pelvis and the legs. Good. And then when you feel ready to, just coming to a resting position. So resting, a place of stillness, of complete comfort. Softening the forehead, the eyes, the cheeks and the jaw. Just let the air flow in and out through the nose. So just a few more breaths before we finish. That's it. Good. So then when you're ready, you're just going to come up to seated. So rocking from side to side if you're not already seated. And then coming up, making your way up. Find a comfortable seat, something that works for you, definitely comfortable on the knees. Lengthen the spine, that's beautiful. Lifting the chest up, relaxing the shoulders. And just scanning the body from the top of the head all the way down to the toes, and just notice how you feel. Shoulders, sides of the waist, the rib cage, the breath, the hips, the ankles, the knees, everything. So just taking a mental picture of your body. And then allow the chin to drop down. Hands come to the heart center in prayer position, pressing the palms together and then softly blinking the eyes open. And then nice and slowly lifting up the gaze. Well done, you did very well. Namaste. Well done. That was really good, you did that so well. Well, hopefully your hips will be like thanking you later for that.
Brilliant. Thanks, Emma.
That's
Very
all right.
good.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, I'll see you later. All right, well done, Georgie. That was excellent. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye, Lou. I'll see you soon.
Recording stop.